Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Elmo.
And I'm the biggest fish in the pond. I'm Tuna.
Welcome back. So we're going to be talking about last week's games and what happened, who scored goals, anyone got sent off, any controversies, and we're also going to be telling you how our predictions went for that game as well. So Monday, 8 o'clock, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Southampton. Wolves won, Southampton won.
Yep, local boy Theo Walcott opened the scoring for Southampton before Neto equalised for Wolves. First goal for Southampton for Theo Walcott in 14 years,
Oh,
and you could just tell how much he enjoyed it.
yeah, I think in previous games he's had his chances. I'm surprised it's taken this long, but he'll definitely be happy. I think he's going to do something well at Southampton. Um, he kind of went off the rails a bit at Arsenal, didn't really do that much, went to Everton, didn't do as well as he hoped. Maybe Southampton is his true home, and maybe he can get the form what he used to have early on in his career.
Yeah, and it was a very nice goal as well. Trey Adams firing across, blocked first time. Second ball comes across and nobody tracked him at all, and it was a tapping really, but it's a nice movement from him. He then probably should have had another one not long after, where he got played through one-on-one with a keeper and pulled it wide.
Yeah,
Um, and then Neto obviously getting the equaliser from a rebound, and a bit harsh for Southampton really. McCarthy had a great game in goal for them,
yeah, it did. Yeah,
and a win would have put them in second. Wolves were missing Connor Cody after a positive test as well. Well, not a positive test, he came into contact with someone. And it sort of showed early on they wasn't themselves. But, I mean, overall for me, a draw, fair result in this game.
yeah. I went for Southampton 2-0, but I think this is one of them games where I had a look and it was going to go one way or the other. I couldn't really. I know I predicted Southampton 2-0, but either of these teams could have turned up on the day and won.
Yeah, I had 2-1 Southampton, so if Walcott had just scored that goal, then
But
I'd have been
the
sat here with at least a perfect score.
the draw leaves Wolves in ninth, 4 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, on 14 points, and then Southampton currently sitting fifth, 17 points with 5 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. Southampton, they're trying to push into the top four. Um, maybe Walcott can get them up there. He's currently above his 2 previous clubs, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, obviously they sort of relying on him as well, and the rest of the team with Danny Ings being out injured. So other players need to step up for Southampton. But it's been a pretty good start for them, a team that we don't particularly expect to see up there.
Yeah,
Uh,
the last 5 games they've had 3 wins and 2 draws. Uh, that's the kind of form that you need to be doing. That's the same form as Chelsea and Liverpool at the moment. So can they keep it up? Can they finish roundabout up there? Can they qualify for Europe? It'll be
I
interesting.
think if they're still in pretty much contention for Europe when Danny Ings is back, he's probably going to be after Christmas, New Year before we see him back to his best at earliest. So if they're still in contention when he's back, then obviously they're certainly in with a shout.
Yeah, Ings and Walcott linking up. They could score quite a few goals between each other. If you know, maybe this is Walcott's first goal of many, or maybe it just goes on to a slump again, or maybe he just gets injured again.
Yeah, that's one thing he needs to do is stay fit. Whether he can do that is a question that's haunted him all his career, really.
Yeah, it again is another one of these that he had the world at his feet. The whole taking him to the World Cup, didn't get a game, but was 16, 17.
16, I don't even think he'd played a competitive game at that point.
No, and he got taken to a World Cup not to play a game, just to sit on a bench. Um, but yeah, we saw some really good um, prospect from him, and just like Danny Welbeck, it kind of didn't go anywhere. He never reached the heights that everyone expected of him. So this is his chance to kind of build upon that and show that he is a decent player. Maybe Southampton is the level. I'm not saying the level for him. That's kind of negative on Southampton, but maybe he'll find his feet at Southampton with the players around him, with Ings and what have you, and we'll see where he is at the end of the season in terms of how many goals he scored.
Yeah, I mean, he's currently sat on 76 career Premier League goals, which isn't too bad, for a winger. Not something that you particularly expect to get goals. He has only had 2 double-figure goal-scoring seasons in the Premier League. But like I say, maybe this is his chance to almost play without the shackles
Yeah,
and let himself loose and score some goals. And
I think at Southampton there's less pressure on him than there was at Arsenal and Everton. So maybe that's what was holding him back. Maybe it was the pressure. Maybe it was the injuries, a mixture of both. Who knows? But yeah, like you say, if he can stay fit, he could get in a good run of form, and him and Ings could be dangerous.
obviously Wolves sort of ticking along at a decent rate, mid-table. Sort of starting how we expect them to start, how they'd normally start, and they kick on sort of this sort of time of year before a slow finish again. So it'll be interesting to see how they do this season.
Not a
See if
team where there's been many goals in each game though. 9 games and they've scored 9 and conceded 10. So there's uh, there's a lot of teams. Is that that's the second lowest conceded? Well, joint level with Arsenal, but and you got Tottenham with 9 as well. But I think they just need to be defending better, obviously, but they need to find the form with the goal scorers as well.
Yeah, I mean Traore's been sort of left out of the team, and he's a massive player for them. Literally, I mean muscles on muscles from that guy. But he's been quite critical in the press as well lately. He thinks he's been left out because Liverpool were interested in the summer, and he's sort of been punished for saying that he was interested in it. And is that going to cost Wolves?
I think that is harsh. I mean, you've always got players that I think that's kind of bad on the media more than anything else because it's the media that kind of pressure the players with the questions about clubs that have shown interest in them, and sometimes just off the cuff, whatever you say comes out, and sometimes it's just because maybe it could be media management. They need the media training. Or just it's sometimes very difficult to just come up with something and then not regret it after.
Yeah,
Um,
he did play the full 90 minutes in this game, but at what point do you start to feel a bit aggrieved? And it's like, well, I've been left out for what isn't really a reason to do with me. So, at
mm,
what point do you start? I'm not saying he's unprofessional like that. I think he's a quality professional, but he's got to play on your mind a little bit.
Yeah, he just needs to find his form again, and then maybe Liverpool can go in for him in summer again.
Yeah, a Wolves going to be the new Southampton.
Maybe.
Interesting thing about this game is both teams only made 2 substitutes when the big teams are pushing for 5 again, and these are only making 2 in this game, and they had a full bench. Uh, so it's is it a case of not particularly needed, or where do you stand on this? Do you think the Premier League should have 5 subs again?
No, I don't think it's needed. Obviously, we've got a lot of games coming up. It's gonna there's gonna be a lot of tired players, granted, but I still don't think that warrants 5 subs. I just think, yeah, there's going to be teams that are going to struggle to be able to do rotation, but I think that's just where you need to do the rotation. You've got the clubs that can do the rotation, the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea and that lot, who need it more than everyone else because they're playing in Europe as well and traveling and that lot. The teams that aren't playing midweek, just need to do some kind of different training. Just they don't need to be 5 subs.
Both these teams are only missing, I say only missing, both missing 3 players with injuries as of the 24th of November. But muscular injuries are up by 23% this year, and obviously games are coming pretty thick and fast. And I think that's why we're seeing teams like Southampton, Aston Villa, Everton up there because they don't have these European fixtures.
Yeah.
And this is where Wolves, who are generally a decent Premier League team, need to be kicking on and getting these points.
Yeah, I
And
mean, the
pushing
earlier
up
that you
there.
get the points, the better it puts you in good stead further on. So, you with the likes of Sheffield United, like I said, not getting any points in the first 9 games, or only getting 1 point, sorry, it's very difficult to recover from that. You look at the likes of Leicester, who kind of looked really poor against Liverpool, but they're still in the top 4 even with that loss because the points that they accumulated before that. So yeah, this is where you need to be getting the wins. Like you say, where teams around them are playing a lot more games. You need to really put more focus on that because second half of the season could be where you might be FA Cup and you might have to replay some games if some games get called off for whatever reason, and then you're in the same situation. Right, guys, that's it for this video. Please go and check all the other videos out for the games from last week. Please check out our predictions video as well, which is us predicting what we think will happen in next week's games. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, throw some comments in on who you think is going to be winning, what you thought of the games, any ideas that you want to see on the channel or anything like that. Check everything
Follow us
out in the
on Twitter.
description. All our socials and links for our YouTubes and everything like that are in there. Anything from you, Tuna?
No, you pretty much say follow our Twitters. Come and talk to us on Twitter. Come talk football on Twitter. Let us know who you support, where you think you're going to finish this season. Obviously, it's a crazy season, so anything can happen.
Yep. Like I say, go and check all our other videos out, and we'll see you next weekend. Bye.
Bye bye.